Do mice really love cheese? Does the color red actually make bulls angry? And can carrots really give you superhuman eyesight, as many people believe? Today, we'll uncover the truth behind 5 of the world's most popular myths. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let's start with rank number 5. Rank number 5. Mice love cheese. Who hasn't seen a mouse eagerly chasing a piece of cheese? Whether in cartoons or movies, this image has become deeply ingrained in our minds, leading many people to believe that mice love cheese more than any other food. In fact, if you ask someone, "What's a mouse's favorite food?" the answer will probably be cheese. As if mice had signed an exclusive contract with the dairy industry. But the truth is quite different. Mice are opportunistic feeders, meaning they eat whatever food is readily available. However, they naturally prefer grains, seeds, nuts, fruits, and other energy-rich foods. In many experiments, mice actually chose peanut butter or grains over a piece of cheese. So, how did this myth become so widespread? The answer goes back to Europe centuries ago, when cheese was often stored for long periods in cellars and storerooms without protective packaging. Meanwhile, meat was usually salted or hung out of reach, and grains were kept in sealed containers. As a result, cheese was simply one of the easiest foods for mice to access, not necessarily their favorite. Over time, folktales, movies, and cartoons reinforced the idea of mice being obsessed with cheese until it became a familiar part of popular culture around the world. So, if you place a piece of cheese next to a bowl of grains or peanut butter, don't be surprised if the mouse ignores the cheese completely. It seems the cheese loved the mouse far more than the mouse ever loved the cheese. Rank number 4. Bulls hate the color red. All it takes is waving a red cloth in front of a bull, and you will immediately hear someone say, "Run, you've made it angry." This idea has become one of the most widespread beliefs in the world, causing the color red to become strongly associated with anger and aggression. But does a bull actually become angry because of the color red? Surprisingly, the answer is no. Like most cattle, bulls do not see red the same way humans do. Their color vision is limited, and they cannot clearly distinguish between red and green. Therefore, a red cloth does not have any special meaning to them. So, why does the bull charge toward it with such force? The real reason is not the color, but the movement. When a bullfighter rapidly waves the cloth in front of the bull, the animal sees a moving object that captures its attention and triggers its natural instinct to react. If the red cloth were replaced with a white, blue, or green one and moved in the same way, the bull's reaction would be largely similar. As for the color red, it was never chosen to make the bull angry. Instead, it was selected because it is visually striking for the audience, making the performance appear more dramatic, and it can also help hide bloodstains that may appear during bullfighting. Rank number 3. Camels store water in their humps. If you ask anyone, where does a camel store water? The most common answer will probably be, in its hump. The hump has become, in many people's minds, a natural water tank that the camel fills before beginning its long journeys across the desert. But the truth may be surprising. Camels do not store water in their humps at all. In reality, a camel's hump is made mostly of fat, not water. This fat reserve acts as a source of energy when food becomes scarce. The camel can convert this stored fat into energy, and this process also produces a small amount of water that helps the body. But it is not water stored inside the hump, as many people believe. So, How can camels survive for long periods in the desert without dying of thirst? The secret lies in their incredible bodies. Camels can drink dozens of liters of water in a short time when it becomes available. Their kidneys are highly efficient at reducing water loss, and they can tolerate a rise in body temperature before they begin sweating, which greatly minimizes fluid loss. Even their red blood cells have a unique shape that helps them withstand major changes in the body's water levels. As for why this myth became widespread, it is because people noticed the camel's large hump and assumed it was a water storage tank, especially because of the animal's remarkable ability to survive without drinking for long periods. So, the hump was never a water tank. It was an energy reserve, while the camel's extraordinary ability to conserve water was the true secret behind its famous title, the Ship of the Desert. Rank number 2. Goldfish have a 3-second memory. All it takes is watching a goldfish swimming in its small bowl before hearing someone say, "It forgets everything after just 3 seconds." This phrase has become so common that it is often used to describe anyone who is extremely forgetful, as if the goldfish had the weakest memory of all creatures. But is this actually true? Surprisingly, the answer is no. Goldfish do not have a memory that lasts only 3 seconds. In fact, they can remember information for much longer periods, lasting weeks and even months in some experiments. Studies have shown that goldfish can learn specific routes, recognize shapes and colors, associate certain times with feeding schedules, and even be trained to perform simple tasks and remember them later. So, where did the myth of the 3-second memory come from? The truth is that there is no reliable scientific evidence supporting this number. The idea appears to have spread over time through television shows, movies, and books, eventually becoming a commonly repeated fact without verification. The small size of fish bowls and the way goldfish often swim in circles may have also convinced people that they were simply forgetting where they had been moments earlier. But the reality is very different. Goldfish can remember, learn, recognize patterns, and use their previous experiences far more than most people realize. Rank number 1. Carrots improve your eyesight. Since childhood, many of us have heard the famous phrase, "Eat carrots, and your eyesight will become stronger." Over time, carrots became associated with the idea that they can give people almost superhuman vision, even making it easier to see in the dark better than any other food. But is this actually true? The truth is that carrots are beneficial for eye health because they are rich in vitamin A, an essential nutrient that helps maintain normal vision, especially in people who suffer from a deficiency. However, if your eyesight is already healthy and you are not lacking vitamin A, eating large amounts of carrots will not give you sharper vision or a magical ability to see in the dark. So, how did this idea spread around the world? During World War II, the British government promoted the idea that its pilots had incredible night vision because they ate large amounts of carrots. However, the real purpose behind this claim was to hide the secret of their use of new radar technology. Over time, this wartime propaganda transformed into a fact believed by millions of people and continued to be passed down through generations until the present day.